Greetings, Otaku Faithful. Thank you for joining me again this week. Once again, it's Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief, and I'm here to bring you all yet again another Sons of Anarchy episode review right here on Otaku Assemble! Weekly, as always, I'm here to bring you the latest in this week's Sons of Anarchy episode review, and this is my review of Season 5, Episode 2, entitled Authority Vested. Now, general thoughts on the episode as a whole. I like the episode. I like how the story's progressing. I like the direction in which it's going. But a few thoughts, just overall thoughts about the episode as a whole. Number one, pacing. Was I the only one who was a little bit thrown off by how we got the high octane, drive sequence with Jax and Nero, and then the rest of the episode slowed down to an alarming rate? Was that just me? I could be wrong about that, and maybe the fucking commercial breaks had something to do with that, but that threw me off a bit, because it was like high octane, woo, excitement, and then it slowed down and it never picked speed back up. It just kind of slowed down until credits. I don't know, maybe that was just me. Could be. Also, the pacing in the season as a whole, I did not expect for them to get to the Jax and the rest of the guys going in, turning themselves in and whatnot. I didn't expect that to happen within the second episode of the season. I thought that was going to be something that they were actually going to stretch out for a couple of episodes, maybe 3 or 4 more episodes. But no, the preview for next week's episode, they're in the pen. So this season is actually progressing a lot faster than I thought it would. So that, in regards to last week's episode, already we have season 5 picking up sooner than I expected, but also going at a faster pace. Okay, wow. Which, at this point, I can only think, what the rest of the season will be filled up with, since, it's moving so quickly. Other thoughts. Number one, I like the fact that Wayne is deciding to investigate, these break-ins and whatnot. I like the fact that he's investigating those on his own. It gives him something to do for the season. It gives his character a goal to achieve throughout the season, and it keeps him busy, and it keeps him within the narrative. So I like that, and I'll discuss those break-ins in a little bit more detail later on in this review. Number two, I like the fact that Opie is still around, that they didn't kind of write Opie off as he'll appear in a couple of episodes, but he's not so much a regular. I like the fact that they're keeping him in, and I'll get back to Opie later on in this review as well. What else did I want to discuss? Without going into much detail, because of course I'll talk about those later. Just anything else I'm missing? Nah, I think that'll. Oh, the scene with Tig and his daughter, fucking hilarious. Oh, that was so damn funny. Okay, so pretty much wrapping up my general thoughts about the episode. Like I said, it was good. I like the way it's going. It's moving the season is moving at a pleasant but unexpected rate. Very funny. And I like what's going on with Wayne, and I like what's going on with Opie. Alright, so that's general thoughts. Now, let's talk about a few topics in a bit more detail. First and foremost, I want to address the break-ins. Now, one of my viewers brought to my attention in the comment section that actually it was, the new additions to SAMCRO who are actually responsible for the attack on Wayne at the end of last week's episode, which I hadn't paid attention to, but of course we saw that is in fact them in this week's episode because they had Clay's safe. Now, I can only imagine what their motivation for this would be, but I can't help but think that Clay has something to do with it. I know there's not much evidence to suggest that, but as I stated in last week's review, Clay He's doing power plays, okay? That whole confession bit to the table, you know, to the club and whatnot, that's a power play. He's not, there are motives, there are ulterior motives behind that. You see what I'm saying? There are nefarious things that he is trying to accomplish. This might be part of that. And like I said, we just need more evidence, but we do know that of all the things taken from the house, Clay's safe, you know, Clay stated that to the sheriff, you know, his safe is one of them. And also consider this, they didn't just open up the safe, take the money, and then, you know, toss it. They're actually going through the documents, you know, because we saw the two guys who disposed of the safe, and then we saw the other cat in the passenger seat who was actually reading it and whatnot. So, I don't know. I can't help but think that Clay has something to do with that. We'll find out. Second point with Opie. Was I the only one who was cheering when Opie fucking, you know, showed up and then started throwing them fucking bows, man, to get thrown in with Jax? Was I the only one cheering? Because I was fucking ecstatic. I was like, fucking right, man, because with the potential danger that Jax and the others will face in the pen, man, you gotta have your number one homeboy there to watch your back, man. You gotta have your wingman there. Oh man, I feel so much. Well, granted, I'm not crazy about Jackson them going to the pen and whatnot, but I feel a lot better knowing that at least Opie's there to watch his back. So that's cool. And who knows? Maybe some of my assessments about where Opie and Jax's relationship will go, you know, as the season continues. Who knows? I might be wrong about what I said, and I'll be honest with you all. I hope I am wrong because I do like Opie's character. And I would really like to see him and Jax, you know, team up again and, you know, get back to where they need to be. I just think that there's so much shit that's been going on that that's not possible. But I pray I'm wrong. I hope I am. Let's talk about Nero. Man, I am loving, man. And oh man, and Jimmy Smith plays him so well, man. I am loving Nero's character. The whole, like every exchange of dialogue between him and Jax, loved it. And man, just in those, you know, few scenes that we saw with them exchanging dialogue and stuff, they have so much in common just off of that, you know, just off of that, man. The whole thing with Nero's son, and you know how Jax told his story. You know, he got the tattoo of his son's name on his neck, and Jax has the one on his chest and the one on his arm. Man, they just, so many things that they have in common. And I think another one of my viewers mentioned in the comments in last week's review that apparently Nero's supposed to fill in the type of mentor figure for Jax. That'll be very interesting to see. I'm curious to see how they'll write that and how that will develop, you know, because let's face it, you know, they are in two different businesses and whatnot, and their operations are different, but who knows, something very interesting could actually develop from that. So I'm really looking forward to see how that turns out. And was there anything else I'm missing? I think for the most part, I pointed out all the things I wanted to talk about. Yeah. I think for the most part that'll do it for this review. Like I said, just gave pretty much my general thoughts on the episode, and you know, a few things I wanted to talk about. But you know, I think that, you know, the rest of these episode reviews up until we get to, you know, like you know, the hour-and-a-half episodes, or the, you know, 2-hour episodes, or the finale and stuff like that, they may be a little bit shorter because, you know, these are all just pieces to the season as a whole. So, you know, we all got to see how things turn out. Well, anyway, I'm not going to hold you guys any longer than I already have. I want to thank you all for tuning in this week. I want to thank you all who tuned in last week. You know, you made that video a success. That video did really well. And what to keep an eye out for later this week on my channel. Whew, man, the discussion of the week this week is gonna be weird. And what I'm pulling for on that right now, I might end up doing another topic than the one that was voted, because the topic that was voted for this week, I've already talked about. Not in the same, you know, not specifically that topic, but generally speaking, I've already covered that topic. So I might be fishing for another topic. I might be, you know, going elsewhere with that. I'm not sure yet. As for my comic book Hollywood segment, man, y'all are down bad for that shit. Y'all got me fucking reviewing Elektra, bruh. Y'all down bad for that shit, and you know you're wrong for that. Y'all know y'all wrong for that shit, man. That's fucked up. That's what's fucked up with y'all, man. Y'all did me dirty. So that's what to keep an eye out for later this week. But anywho, so that'll do it for me. This has been Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief. I'm signing off, and until next time, peace.